something a little different. So instead of focusing on all that, on the structure, normal doula things, I want to talk about how we can use this powerful gift that we have right now in the times that we're living in right now. Because many of you are feeling it. I'm feeling it. There's tension right now, lots of it. There's uncertainty. There's a lot of emotional charge in people's lives. And you might be noticing like all kinds of things that are different. Like back in 2020, it was this way when COVID was unfolding and we just started dealing with all that. It was the same thing back then. There was all this uncertainty, and people had no direction. That we had never dealt with this before. So we're kind of at another place in time like that. And there's a whole lot of us, a whole lot of people who identify as end of life doulas or want to do the work, and you have a superpower. Um, you have a superpower. You might be noticing that you're reacting differently than other people around you right now, or that other people are coming to you, you know. I'm sure you're aware of how quickly things are escalating, in friends and family circles. So tonight, I just want to talk about how our doula gifts and skills can be used during times like these. All right. So let's get into it. So, why do end of life doulas naturally become stabilizing people during stressful or uncertain times, like with families? It's because we're trained to be that way. In a good end of life doula training, they're going to do all kinds of trainings and exercises to get you even more in tune. Um, but also, we're naturally inclined, and we're empaths. We're naturally inclined to stay present without trying to control what's happening. Most people either react, withdraw, try to fix, but we tend to naturally sit in the middle. And that alone creates stability for people. Yay, Michelle, you can hear me. Yay. Awesome. And I turned off my phone. For y'all, probably somebody was probably trying to text me. Um, yeah, so that alone creates a stability. So, what is this holding space? Doulas know what it is, but if there's somebody that is going to hear this at some point, I want you to know, what does it actually look like outside of end of life situations? Well, it's kind of the same. It looks like listening without interruption, right? No correcting someone's emotions, no rushing them to calm down. And when I say correcting, we go, well, how are you going to correct their emotions? With, oh no, you don't be worried, don't be afraid. That's trying to correct them, right? Um, Not rushing to calm them down, letting them process out loud without trying to organize their experience, right? It's simple, but not easy. And, you know, we're also affected right now, like the same as 2020. We're walking among the people who are being affected also. We're not walking alongside a family not engaged. We are engaged with what's going on out here. So because we're not separate from the situation, we have our own thoughts, our own reactions and fears and opinions and all of that. And the difference isn't that we don't feel these things, it's that we're intentional about when and where we're going to express them. And that's the biggest key here tonight that I wanted to bring up is being intentional and choosing to be in doula mode versus an equal give and take and bringing my point of view into it, your point of view. So it's an empowerment of, okay, I can do this right now. And I'm acting intentionally, putting my doula shoes on, and I am acting in this way. And I am going to be this person, this container for this person, so they can drain some of that emotion that they have. It's stifling for people. People are frozen. People are beside themselves. There are people in a sort of despondency that they never ever had before. So there is a place for us out here in the world if we choose to do it. Um, And so, which brings up, where is this line between supporting others and overextending yourself? And that line is internal, right? If you're resourced, you can hold the space. If you're depleted, you need to step back. It's very simple. Just like in end of life doula, if you have your own service, if you're in a depleted season, you're going to step back and you're not putting yourself out there. So, doula work is not about self sacrifice, it's about awareness and it's about choice. What else do I want to say? I'm looking over my notes. So, the whole point of tonight is that I've had people tell me, I can't go protest. I can't do this. I can't do that. I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do that. And you're a doula and you have a huge superpower, a huge gift. And that's this soft skill, or however you want it. It's a very active, strong skill, is what I'll call it. You know, there's all these things that other people, it may feel natural for them to express themselves and to support the world in their way. All of that exists, but we have another option available to us, and that's this listening, the pacing, to become that steady place inside our own circles. Not everywhere. It's not for everyone, but where it matters. It could look like, when someone's overwhelmed, you're just, listening and not rushing them through everything. Like I said before, they could be escalating. You're not going to add intensity. It's already an intense moment. We're trained to see that with our clients. And sometimes it's harder to do this with our own families, when we're going through end of life situations. That's what everybody seems to share. We all seem to share that, have that in common, right? But in times like this, we also can get triggered strongly. So it's a choice, is what I'm inviting you to look at, as putting on our doula shoes and choosing when we want to hold this space for other people as a contribution to the peace in my community, in my own circle of family and friends where I actually have impact. It's where I can actually make a difference. This isn't passive, this is active presence. And it's one of the most under-recognized forms of leadership. Because you're not trying to be understood. You're choosing in that moment to understand. That's a really different posture. And like I said, you don't have to do it all the time in every engagement from this day forward till we feel safe again. Of course not. You choose when you want to show up this way. It's like you're an act of service. And that choice has impact. So, what's coming up for you as I share this? Who's already doing it? Are you conscious that you're doing it? I want you to get conscious about it, because it's not, it can be, it can deplete you if you're not in control of it. But if you actively choose to gift it, then you're empowered. You're an empowered giver. And you're actually bringing healing, and you're helping them drain. And it's way different when you choose to do it than when you feel hijacked. Where do you feel like your limits are with this? And does this feel natural to you? Or does it feel like, oh God, just one more thing of people pleasing for me? A lot of end-of-life doulas are, they're very strong people, and also have a tendency, when on the dark, there's always a shadow side, right? To sacrifice themselves for others. And I'm not talking about that here. Anybody have any thoughts? I just wanted to come on and bring this up because it was during years ago in 2020. It was we all, I don't know if Michelle, you were with me back then. I think you were. Remember, we got together almost every week, and I opened it to the public so we could share together and be together during very uncertain times. We didn't know what in the world was going on, you know. See, Jared says, I hear you. I recently had to step back because I was dealing with 3 deaths of close friends and family, but now I'm back. There you go. Yeah, we know what we need. We know what we need. And I trust, yeah, it was wonderful. I trust each one of us to know that. It's like when we get conscious, when you get on the end of life doula path, then you're becoming conscious of operating in a up-leveled role, in a heightened role, but a purposeful, I intentionally am doing this on purpose for the benefit of somebody else, and I'm doing it in a structured, contained way, and I'm detached. It's like this is the training ground for the doula. Intentional, putting myself over here, having this conversation sometimes when I notice within myself, when I'm in a situation with a family, say, and I realize I'm getting triggered, I do an internal note to self. I'll deal with you when we get home. Note to self, I'll deal with you when we get home. Right now, I'm going to be with them. And then when I get home, I deal with myself. I have to build that trust inside of myself that I'm actually going to handle it. And then my trust for myself grows. I'm setting the time aside for myself. And yes, one would hope that I would just do that naturally because I love myself. But how many of us are like, I'll give to you all day long. I'll give to you at the expense of me all day long. I'll do me later. That's a tendency we have to stop. And people say you have to give to yourself before you can give to others. I call BS on that. How many of you have given, and when you don't have it inside? And you keep giving, and we can do that for years. The thing is, what happens is we decompensate. We go down. We decompensate. Our bodies, our minds, our spirits. Note to self. Yeah, I know. I have to. I don't want to sound crazy sometimes, Little Deanna, however you want to do it, your inner child. Note to self. When I'm with a family, I can't pull out my phone and do my verbal note. I like doing those when I'm with a family. But these days, it is so intentional for me to carve the space to say, I'm putting on my doula shoes right now with this family member who I know how they feel. We have a long history. Do y'all feel that? In Spanish, we say coraje. That inside, you feel it. But I'm choosing to put my doula shoes on right now, and I'm doing a gift of service for humanity. I might not be able to stop the war over there, but I can stop it here. This is all I have right here. My family, my friends. I'll be doing these Thursdays. You guys, whoever comes Thursdays, we'll share together. As time goes on, maybe we'll do some other things. Hi, Jenny. I'm glad you're here. So, yeah, thanks for coming, guys. I wanted to just bring this up And we'll continue having conversations. And people look up to us. They do. When they find out that you're a person who's into end of life and end of life doula, and they hear what you're doing, they just look at you different. I hope you know that. They respect you. They look at you. They want to know how you think about things. You might find that they do inquire, like, well, what do you think about this certain thing? And it extends beyond death and end of life topics. And so, anyway, for what it's worth. Hi, Ashley. Okay. Earth Angel. All right. All right. Well, you all have a beautiful evening. Thanks for coming. Is there anything anybody wants to share that I can speak into this live so that it's there for posterity? Oh, I love what you said, Jared. Yes, it took me a minute to just be okay with taking time for myself. I felt guilty or like I should be able to just do it. But I just took the time for self-care, and glad I did because it was depleting. Yes, absolutely. Yes, that's it. All right, y'all. Take good care. Thanks for coming back. All righty. Bye-bye.